Okay, so good morning, children, once again. So we have completed in the last few classes kinds of sentences. Okay, so we have completed conjunction and test papers also over, and kinds of sentences also we have explained or we have learned in detail which are the three kinds of sentences: simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound sentence. And how to identify these three kinds of sentences also we have explained in detail. Okay, so now moving on to the next lesson, which is direct and indirect speech. Okay, so we have already studied direct and indirect speech before, and now again with detailed manner we are going to study direct and indirect speech. Okay, so first of all, tell me, what is meant by indirect speech? You know that direct speech, when we say something to a person, okay, speaker and the listener will be involved in direct speech. Okay, and in indirect speech, direct and indirect speech is there. So direct speech means the speaker is saying something or speaking something, and the listener to the listener, okay, and the listener is listening to. That is called direct speech. So only two persons, first person and the second person, is only involved in direct speech. But in indirect speech, what is told by the first person, the meaning of that speech is conveyed to the third person by the second person. Okay, so when I say all these things, it will be too much confusing for you. Okay, leave it to all those things. I make it very simple. Okay, direct speech. What is direct speech? Exact words of the speaker. Exact words of the speaker. Okay, so we know the three persons in English. Which are the three persons? First person, second person, third person. First person means the speaker, I or we. Okay, and second person means the listener, you, and third person, one who listens to it. Okay, and the third person means about whom we are speaking. Okay, first person is speaking to a second person about somebody, and that somebody is called the third person. Okay, he, she, it, they, etc., etc. Okay, so here exact words of the speaker, that is called direct speech. So what is meant by direct speech? Exact words of the speaker. Okay, so how the speaker says, that is exactly put forward, that is called direct speech. So normally if an exact words of the speaker is just reproduced, we will use codes and commas. Okay, so exactly codes will be there. So exact words, what are the words which are told by the speaker, that will be shown with the help of these codes. So what is inside the code will be the exact words of the speaker. Okay, so that is why direct speech is the exact words of the speaker. And what is indirect speech? The meaning of the speech is is reported. Okay, by whom? By the second person to third person. Okay, third person, it can be anybody. Okay, so direct speech means exact words of the speaker, but indirect speech means the exact words of the speaker which is told by the speaker, and the meaning of that speech. Okay, speaker's meaning of that speech is reported. Who will report that? The second person will report that to the third person. Okay, so already the exact words of the speaker is told to the second person. That means the listener, second person. Okay, so that second person will convey the meaning of that message or the meaning of that speech to the third person. That is called indirect speech or reported speech. Okay, so indirect speech or reported speech. So first thing what you should know is that what is direct speech. Direct speech means exact words of the speaker. Okay, speaker means the first person. Exact words of the speaker is called direct speech. And what is indirect speech? Indirect speech, the meaning of that speech or the meaning of the words which is told by the first person, okay, the speaker. So the meaning of that speech is reported by the second person to the third person. Okay, so in this two persons are involved, first and second person. Okay, first person to the second person, and here second person to the third person. Understood? So this is how the speech or the meaning of the words told by the first person will be transferred to the third person, and who is the mediator in between? It is the second person. Okay, so if I tell something to you about another boy, okay, another student in the class, then this triangle shaped connection will be there. Okay, so this is the speaker. Speaker is telling something to the listener, and or this is first person, this is second person. Okay, so speaker is speaking something to the listener. This is the exact words told to the listener, and listener will convey the meaning to the third person. Okay, so third person. So this is how, so exact words of the speaker will be conveyed through its meaning to the third person. So interconnection is there. So have you understood? This is how it works. Okay, direct and indirect speech. Direct speech, exact words of the speaker, and indirect speech, the meaning of the speech is reported or conveyed by the second person to the third person. Okay, so this much is clear, I hope so. Okay, so how will you write? Normally, as I've told you, exact words of the speaker. Exact words of the speaker cannot be simply written in a sentence. It should be written with quotes and commas, because the exact words should be separated from the remaining part of the sentence. Understood? Okay, so we will separate it with the help of quote. So I'll write a sentence. Okay. I'm glad to be with you, the inspector said. Quote. I am glad to be with you. Okay, so the inspector said, I am glad to be with you. And you can see that this part is separated with the help of a comma. Okay, and after that we have started the quote, and exact words of the speaker is given in the quote, and after that we have put the full stop and closed the quote. Okay, have you seen the difference? Okay, so these are the exact words. So from the sentence itself we can identify which is the exact word, or which are the exact words told by the speaker, and exact words are given in the quote. Okay, and the remaining part will be outside. Okay, so normally in direct speech, a sentence can be split into two. And what is this part called? Okay, and what is this? This is, you know that it is a subject. Okay, subject of the sentence, and this is called the verb. And this verb is not called simply a verb, but this is the verb which is used to report the exact words of the speaker. So that is why this verb is called the reporting verb. Okay, so this verb is called the reporting verb. This is the subject, and this verb is called the reporting verb. Okay, the verb which is outside the quote is called the reporting verb. Okay, and this part which includes the subject and the reporting verb, what is it called? If subject and verb is there in the lesson, we have previous lesson we have studied that. What is it called? The part of a sentence that must contain a subject and a verb is called a clause. Okay, so this part which contains a subject and the reporting verb is called the reporting clause. Don't forget the name, reporting clause. Why it is called reporting clause? Clause means subject and verb is there. Okay, and this is the verb which we use to report something. So that is why this part is called the reporting clause, which includes the subject and the verb, and which is outside the quote. Okay, and this verb which we use to report something, that verb is called the reporting verb. Okay, so this sentence is called a direct speech, and this direct speech sentence can be split into two, and the first part which includes the subject and the verb, reporting verb, is called the reporting clause. Okay, the part which includes the subject and the reporting verb, not simply a verb, it is called the reporting verb, is called the reporting clause. Okay, And what is inside the quote? This can be called quote itself. Okay, the thing which is exact words of the speaker which is given in the quote is called quote itself. Okay, so direct speech split into two. First part, which includes the subject and the reporting verb, is called the reporting clause, and the second part, which is given in the quote, is called the quote itself. Okay, so have you understood the classification? So the direct speech sentence can be split into two, and first part reporting clause, second part is called the quote. Okay, and we know that this is direct speech. Okay, and when we convert, so this is direct speech, and you are asked to convert this direct speech to indirect speech. In direct speech, we have told that the meaning of the speech is reported by the second person to the third person. So, inspector said this to someone, okay, the second person, and that second person will convey the meaning to the third person. Okay, so how will you do that? First thing is that here reporting clause and quote is separate. Okay, so what we have to do is that the main changes that will happen when we convert a direct speech to indirect speech. There are certain things that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so when we convert a direct speech to indirect speech, many changes will happen in the sentence. And the first change is that all these punctuations will be taken. Okay, all these punctuations other than one full stop at the end of the sentence, remaining all the other punctuations will be taken away. Okay, all these will be dropped, and we have to combine this reporting clause with the quote with the help of a conjunction, and which is the most commonly used conjunction in the reported speech or in indirect speech? That. Okay, so that is the most commonly used conjunction. Understood. So we know that based on the pattern of the sentence, we have four kinds of sentences: assertive, interrogative, imperative, and also exclamatory. Okay, so in first one and the last one, all these four kinds of sentences can be converted from direct speech to indirect speech. Okay, so remember that four kinds of sentences based on the pattern, and all these four kinds of sentences can be converted from direct speech to indirect speech. Okay, and out of that, assertive sentence and exclamatory sentence, first one and the last one, these two, when we convert from direct to indirect speech, we use the conjunction that. Okay, and that, as I've told you, it is the most commonly used conjunction. For these two kinds of sentences, when we convert from direct to indirect speech, we use conjunction that. Okay, and interrogative and imperative, I'll tell you which is the conjunction that we'll use. Okay, don't get mixed up with all this. So, most commonly used conjunction, which is that. Okay, so how will you convert the sentence? As I've told you, remove all the punctuations, combine the sentence, and also in the quote, many changes will happen. Okay, persons will change first thing, and also tenses also will change. Understood? So, lot of things you have to keep in mind. Number of things are there when you convert a direct speech to indirect speech. Okay, so this one we'll first see, and after that all the rules we will write. Okay, so the inspector said. Do we need a comma here? No. Okay, all these commas will remove, and after that we have, as we have told, we need a conjunction to combine the reporting clause and the quote. Said that, and commonly used one is that. Okay, so the inspector said that, and first person will change too, because see, this is told, these are the exact words of the speaker. Okay, so if I tell you that, yeah, I am not feeling well. Okay, I told you the same, I am not feeling well. But when somebody asks you, what did Miss tell you? Will you say that Miss told that I am not feeling well? So what will be the meaning? The meaning is that you are not feeling well, not me. Okay, so when you convey the meaning, or when you pass the message from you to the third person, the meaning of the message should be intact. It should be correct. Okay, it should not change. So how will you convey the meaning? When somebody asks you, what did Miss tell you? Miss told that she was not, I am not feeling well, I have told. Okay, so Miss told that she was not feeling well. Present continuous change to past continuous. And also first person changed to third person because you are not telling your own voice. You are conveying the message which is told by another person. Okay, so she was not feeling well or he was not according to the gender. Okay, so gender change you have to see, persons will change, tenses will change. So many things you have to see. Okay. Okay, so the inspector said that I will change to, okay, the inspector. So he. Okay, you can think that the gender is masculine gender. He, am is simple present tense. Okay, so in active and passive, do you remember when we convert an active sentence to passive sentence, many things will change. Form of be we have learned. Okay, so form of be, how the tenses will change. Okay, same way here. Here exactly all the present tenses will change to its respective past forms. Okay, so that is the main difference that will happen when we convert a direct speech to indirect speech. Okay, so first person will change to third person and present tense will change to past. Simple present to simple past. Okay, so I am will change to he was, as I have told you, first person to third person. Okay, second person to first person or remains the same, third person no change at all. Okay, so as we have already told, three persons are there in English. First person, okay, first person will change to third person. Okay, these are the changes. Please do copy this down. Changes. Okay, person changes. First person to third person, second to first or second itself. Okay, and third person remains the same. So all these things are in detail given in your textbook, so need not worry. But still, if you write it, things will be much more clear in your mind. Okay, so person changes. How the persons will change? We know that three persons are there in English: first person, second person, and third person. A speaker, listener, and about whom we are speaking. And when we convert a direct speech to indirect speech, first person will change to third person. Okay, so that is why I changed to he according to the gender. Okay, so first person to third person, second person, either it will change to first person or it remains in the second person according to the sentence. It depends based on the sentence that is given or the question that is given. Okay, and third person, there won't be any change. Why? Because from third person, no change can happen. Okay, so first to third, remember just by heart this. Okay, first person changes to third person, second person either to first or remains in the second itself. Okay, third person, no change. Okay, so third person remains the same, no change at all. Okay, so these are the changes that will happen in person. Okay, so now we'll see. Okay, so he was glad to be, I am glad to be with you. Okay, to the listener he tells. Okay, so he was glad to be with me. Second person to first person. Understood? Okay, so this is what I have told you. So persons will change. How the persons are changing, that also you have to keep in mind. First to third. Okay, and second to first or sometimes second itself. And third, no change at all. Okay, so the inspector said, I am glad to be with you. And quote and comma, I said this is a direct speech, and when we convert this direct speech to indirect speech, remove all the punctuations, only one full stop at the end of the sentence, and whatever is the kind of the sentence, we will convert that sentence to a statement form. That also very important. Okay, all the four kinds of sentences, already we know that first one is statement. Okay, remaining all the other three kinds of sentences will be converted to a statement when we do it in reported speech or when we convert it in indirect speech. Okay, so and all the punctuations will be removed, and we will combine the reported clause and the quote with the help of the conjunction, and which is a commonly used conjunction, that. Okay, so that is it. And the tenses, how will it change? All the present tenses will change to its respective past forms. Okay, so here first person changes to third person and simple present to simple past. Okay, so this is what happens in this sentence, and I hope that with this, how to combine a normal direct speech to indirect is clear. Okay, so a lot of examples we'll do, don't worry about that, and also rules also I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, so first thing is how to convert a direct speech to indirect speech, and next thing is that which are the changes that will happen. Okay, so that we will see which are the changes. So tense changes will be there. How the tenses will change. Okay, tense changes and simple present to simple present to simple past. We have seen am to was, okay, is to was, okay, and are to were. Okay, simple present to simple past, and present continuous. All the tenses one by one we will get. Present continuous to past continuous. Okay, and all the present tenses will change to its respective past forms. What is the meaning of respective past forms? Meaning, see, present continuous. When we change from direct to indirect speech, it won't change only to past continuous, not to past perfect. Respective past forms only. If it is continuous form to continuous form, if it is perfect form to perfect form, if it is simple form to simple form. Okay, if it is future to future only. Understood? So this is how it will happen. Okay, so present to past and present continuous to past continuous, then present perfect to past perfect. Okay, and present perfect continuous to past perfect, present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous. Okay, so all the present tenses will change to its respective past forms. And another thing is that, say, now if past, simple past comes, if in the question simple past comes, it will change to past perfect. Okay, same way if past continuous comes, past perfect continuous. Okay, and in case if past perfect comes in the question, no change. So this remains the same. Okay, so these are the changes that will happen in tenses. Okay, so when we convert a direct speech to indirect speech, the tenses, how will it change? It is clearly shown with the help of this table. Okay, so remember, by heart this table is very simple. Okay, because as I have told you, all the present tenses will change to its respective past forms only. Only when past tense comes here only you have to be a bit careful. Only in these three cases. Okay, otherwise remaining till here, all the present tenses to its respective past forms only. If it is simple present to simple past only. Okay, if it is present continuous to past continuous only. If it is present perfect to past perfect only, not to any other tense, not to continuous tense or not to simple tense. Okay, so present perfect to past perfect, present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous. Okay, so respective past forms. But if simple past comes, then it will change to the next one step up, that is past perfect. Okay, if it is was, then had done. You know that form of be, had done. Okay, so this one, am or is or are, it will change to was or were. Simple present to simple past. Then is, am, are plus ing will change to was or were plus ing. Okay, present perfect. Has or have plus V3 will change to had plus V3. Same way, have or has plus be plus ing, had plus be plus ing. Okay, here was will to had got, and here was or were plus ing will change to had plus be plus ing. Same. Okay, so the same thing, past perfect continuous. And past perfect had done, what will happen? No change. Okay, so this is how the tenses will change. So this table, I think it is already given there in your book, but please do remember that if instead of am, is, are, if it is do or does, then it will change to did. Okay, and here it is, yeah, same way, did to had. Okay, instead of was, if it is did, do forms, action verbs. This is state of being verb, this is state of being verb, this is action verb. If action verb also, do or does will change to did. Okay, so I hope this is tense change is clear to all of you. Okay, so simple present to simple past, present continuous to past continuous, present perfect to past perfect, present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous, simple past to past perfect, and past continuous to past perfect continuous, and past perfect. There is no change. Okay, so just understand this, but with the help of examples when we do, things will be easy for you. Okay, so now when we just read this, you may find that how can we just by heart this. Okay, so with the help of examples we will do one time. Okay, okay, and so this is how the tenses will change. Now modal auxiliaries. Okay, so that also will change. Modal auxiliaries, how it will change. This is also important. Okay, modal auxiliaries. Which are the modal auxiliaries in modals we have learned? Okay, will to would, shall to should, can to could, may to might, must to had to. Okay, so will change to would, shall, if it in the direct speech, if any of these words are given, any of these modal auxiliaries are given, the past form of those modal auxiliaries will be coming in the indirect speech. Okay, so will change to would, shall to should, can to could, may to might, and must will change to had to. Okay, so these are the changes of modal auxiliaries. Okay, so tenses, you have already seen that the present tenses will change to its respective past forms, and after that modal auxiliaries changes will to would, shall to should, might to, may to might, can to could, must to had. Okay, so this is how the modal auxiliaries will change. I hope that this is clear to all of you. Okay, and you people might have copied also. Okay, now next thing is that some words of nearness also will change. Not only the tense, words of nearness will change with respective to words of distance. Okay. So if it is a closer thing, it will, this will change to that. Okay, and these will change to those. So we know that this is a word which we use, the things which are very closer, singular in number. Okay, and the things which are far, singular in number, we use that. So same way, words of nearness. Words of nearness. Here will change to there, this will change to that, these will change to those, now will change to then, today will change to today, that day. Okay, if today is there in the question, when you convert to indirect speech, you have to convert to that day. Okay, today, that day, tomorrow, the following day. Tomorrow, the following day. Then tonight, that night. Today, that day. Tonight, that night. Okay. And yesterday, the previous day. The previous day or the day before. The day before. Okay. Okay, so these are some of the changes that will happen in words of nearness. Okay, so in words of nearness, if any of these words will come, you have to change. If here is there in the question, here will change to there, this will change to that, these will change to those, now to then, today to that day, tomorrow to the following day, and tonight, that night, yesterday, the previous day or day before. Okay, so these are some of the changes that will happen in, yes, anything else? Yeah, same way, last night, the previous night, okay, instead of yesterday. Yeah, ago before, yes, that is, I was thinking. Ago will change to before. Okay, and one more is there, come will change to go. So ago will be changing to before. Okay, so these changes also you have to remember. Ago, before, here, there, this, that, these, those, now, then, today, that, day, tomorrow, the following day. So remember, if any of these words are there, so when you are converting direct speech to indirect speech, not only one thing you have to keep in mind, not only the tenses. Okay, you have to remember how to combine, which is the conjunction that is used to combine, remove all the punctuations. First thing, remove all the punctuations, combine the reporting clause and the code with the help of a conjunction, and after that, what all changes that should happen when we convert it. Okay, the tenses will change. All the present tenses will change with respective past forms. Past tense to next one step up. Okay, tenses will change. Persons will change. First person to third person. Second person to first or second. Third remains the same. Okay, modal auxiliaries will to, would, shall to, should, can to, could. Modal auxiliaries will change if it is there. Okay, and also words of nearness also will change. Okay, so these each and every word we have to be very careful when we convert. So lot of changes will happen, and more than all, we have to convert all kinds of sentences to a statement. So SVO pattern. Understood? Hope this much what we have discussed today is clear to all of you. Next class we will discuss a number of examples. Okay, I'll give you a number of examples. So with the help of examples, we will clearly understand how to convert a sentence, direct speech to indirect speech. Okay, children. So hope these things are clear to you. So please go through all those things, tables which I have given you, modal auxiliaries table, tenses table, and also words of nearness table. Okay, and what all changes will happen when we convert a direct speech to indirect speech. Okay, thank you.